You're tuned into news across the galaxy where they talk all things LA Galaxy with the Nag Boys. Let's start nagging.
Live.
Eight. Oh shit, I'm by myself. Oh shit, I'm by myself. Eight. Well, the good thing is that at least I got a little bit of company with Chuyaso. So welcome to News Across the Galaxy, where we talk all things LA Galaxy. My name is Bryant Lobos, and I am joined solely by our ones and twos man, Chuyaso. How you doing tonight, Chuyaso?
So man, pretty good. Actually pretty okay because we did not win.
We didn't win, but you know who did win? My brother over the weekend. That's why we didn't have a live show. Shout out to my brother William. He got married to his beautiful wife Grace. They had a very beautiful ceremony. I did not cry the whole time, regardless of what I posted or what anybody took pictures of.
Yes, there is no live video of Brian
There's no
crying.
live nowhere of me crying like a little baby, and then my mom telling my sister to tell me to shut up and stop crying while she was crying at the same time. So yeah.
It was that filter that makes you look like you're crying. It was that.
Yes, the baby filter that makes you lick crying, because me cry never, unless Zlatan comes in and scores a banger, unless Robbie Keane wins us the 5th cup, unless we go back to back at the digs, or unless my brother gets married or whatever. But besides that, I don't cry. Anyway, shout out to my brother Willis. Beautiful wedding. We were there, Chiasso.
Yeah.
It was amazing. My sisters were there. Chewy for the first time got to meet my parents. A lot of people got to meet my parents for the first time as well. It was beautiful. It was one of those things that at the moment I was enjoying the moment for my brother, because I know this is something that he's always wanted, and just to see something, two people unite in this way and have that type of trust for each other, to give each other their lives towards each other. It's beautiful. And yeah, with that said, I believe there was a proposal at the RSL game as well last Saturday. And shout out to that couple. I didn't catch their names. I saw it just sparingly scrolling through social media. I saw it was in the Lars section, I believe. Proposal. She said yes. The crowd went wild. Mans was happy, and yeah, congratulations, guys. And those are big steps of adults, and not many people want to take those. But when people do, it's a beautiful union, and shout out to you guys. All right, we're first gonna start off with Saturday's match between your LA Galaxy and Real Salt Lake, who came in first place. And I think I mentioned this. It wasn't a midweek show, but I think I mentioned this online, and maybe in last Sunday's show, that I believe that Real Salt Lake was probably the best team in the Western Conference. They came in first place. The LA Galaxy came in third. Of course, they were coming from a 0-0 tie against Seattle. They wanted to come back home and get back on the winning track. The big difference was that they're coming back home and they're playing a very good team in RSL, and a very good offensive threat that they had in Real Salt Lake. But let's go with the lineup for this match between RSL and the LA Galaxy. Of course, at goal. Is he number 1? Do you know, Chewy? If he's number 77. Dude, why do I keep thinking he's number 1 as goalie?
I have no
Whatever.
idea.
So, John McCarthy, J-Mac, starts in the back. Your 2 center backs, Jalen Neal, Maya Yoshida, Captain Maya Yoshida. And in Spanish, it's so funny. I was watching today's match on the on the Apple Season Pass, and they were calling him El Capitán Dragon Ball,
That's dope.
Captain Dragon Ball, Maya Yoshida. So I mean, I won't call him that out of respect for Yoshida-san, but that's our captain, Maya Yoshida. Out left, it was Julian Alde, newly. Well, I don't think he's acquired by the Italian Federation, but he's been asked if he has his passport in order to cap him with the Italian national team. Let's see what happens with that, because that's very interesting. One, the Italian national team has a trajectory of winning world titles, and so we have a player that plays for the LA Galaxy that gets called up to the Italian team. I mean, that kind of says a lot for the MLS and for the LA Galaxy. Anyway, I'm derailing. Outright, Mickey Yamane, the trio in the midfield, the usuals, Brugman, Delgado, and Ricky Puig. Up top, you have Dejan Jovic with your two wingers in Gabriel Peck and Joseph Painso. This lineup heading into this match against arguably the best team in the West was the expected lineup. You wanted to come at them with full force, and Greg Vanny did just that. Um,
Wait, hold on. Let's not forget that it was Mother's Day weekend.
yes, it was Mother's Day weekend. Shout out to all the mamas that were there. And you know what? This is something that happened and occurred, I think, at halftime. I seen a tweet. But shout out to Mama Neil for having an iron chin. I love that for you, girl. So yeah, shout out to all the mothers.
Hey, shout out to Scott in the chat.
Hey,
The
shout out to
mother
Scott in the
saludos.
chat.
Yeah, and
Shout out.
and it was Star Wars weekend too.
Yeah, with the Jalen Neal bobblehead. I kind of wished I could have asked somebody to kind of grab me one of those, because I was kind of like looking forward to getting it. But
You had to get a ticket. You had to buy a ticket or either buy it. It wasn't being given out. You would only get it with a ticket, like with a special ticket.
boo. Never mind then.
Yeah, I don't like when they do that. But at least what they're doing is that if you're a season ticket member, you can buy it. Like you can buy the bobblehead, or you can buy the hats, or you can buy whatever promotion they're doing. You can just buy it outright without having to buy a full ticket.
Oh, but I can't buy it no more, can I?
I don't think so.
Doubt it. Anyway, so yeah, this is the lineup we expected. This is, to me, this is the best lineup that we have to throw out at any team, especially if you want to compete further down the line for a title. You would think this would be the lineup. Of course, there's still the summer transfer window where you could bolster up your roster. Now, I don't know what direction the LA Galaxy is going to go in the summer, but that's the topic for when it gets closer to that time frame. So in the first half, the LA Galaxy goes down 2-0. I know in the first 20 minutes, the LA Galaxy seemed very dominant. Per usual, what the LA Galaxy does is hold possession of the ball. In this particular match, they had 55%. No, wait. They had 53% of the possession in that first half, 13 shots to their 9. And so you would think that in those first 20 minutes, something will give, right? That you're at home, you're coming from a tie the week before, and you want to show out in front of your home fans, especially when you're playing the team that's in first place, that you want to be at the top of the league. So those first 20 minutes were crucial. And I think for the let's be fair, for those first 20 minutes, McMath, the goalkeeper from Real Salt Lake, had some great saves to keep this game 0-0 and 0-0 in this first half. And so we got to give a lot of credit to that keeper. Granted, there was 2 opportunities where I think Joseph Paintstill had that he should have put away. And spoiler alert, Joseph Paintstill had a very subpar game to what he usually gives us. And we'll get into it later of how he kind of stormed out when he got subbed out. but for these first 20 minutes, the LA Galaxy looked very good. Uh, I don't I don't think they put us in any danger in those first 20 minutes, but it didn't take them long either for them to score. Actually, it was at the 20th minute. So at the 20th minute, Chicho Arango, a player that we've learned to hate here just because he used to play down the street. One of the things that we question just as MLS fans is why would you let a player like that of that caliber just leave and not even consider bringing him back? Real Salt Lake did their homework. They brought in Chicho Arango, who has been showing this league this season that you know that team down the street should have kept him. Beautiful goal, by the way. He dunks on Maya Yoshida. I don't know what it is. We've talked about this so many times. I don't know what it is about set plays or just crosses that these LA Galaxy defenders, the center backs, for some reason they always lose their man, and I don't get it. Now you would have thought that with Jalen Neal back in the lineup, and we discussed this in the Seattle game that there was moments where set pieces came in and they wouldn't gain through Jalen. In this situation, particular situation, in that first goal that Real Salt Lake scores on the LA Galaxy, Maya Yoshida got dunked on. Can't really. I mean, yeah, you could fault some, but I mean, Chicho Arango, he's strong, and he just went up there and beautifully placed it behind the net. There was nothing that John McCarthy could do in that situation, which kind of, I don't know. Everybody in the chat, are you guys gonna give Maya Yoshida a lot of shit for that goal in that Real Salt Lake game? Because I know I'm gonna say something right now that's probably controversial, and I know he's the captain, and you need a veteran presence in the back. But maybe Maya Yoshida shouldn't be starting. I mean, we don't have another starter, but we still have a young Emilio Garces. Um, it might be a hot take that probably nobody wants to pay attention to me about it right now. But it's because even in this game against Minnesota too, which we'll get later, dunked on. So it's something to look at. Maybe the LA Galaxy during the summer, as we spoke about earlier, they probably go out and get a more capable center back who can actually keep up with the pace and with the strength of this league. But we'll see.
Well, I
So
mean,
that's what.
what my thing is, he's getting there right to that point of frustration. I think we're not there yet,
Mhm.
but I think we are on that track, right? And you know, Maya deserves a lot of props. He's a great athlete. He's a great player, but something's up, right? Like these goals that he's been letting by. You would think that because of his height, he should have an advantage. That's what
Mm,
I think.
yeah. Well, like I said, there has to be a veteran presence in that back line, especially if you're gonna have a young man like Julian Alde out left, and then your center back pair with Jalen Neal. You need somebody that could kind of direct that back line, and I guess his experience is gonna give you that. It's just there's been a lot of times, and it hasn't just been this season, even last season, where you could see his age. And so if the LA Galaxy is serious about winning a title and or at least competing, yeah, he'll get you there, but I'm not sure if he's the answer completely. And I might be tripping. And if you guys in the chat or when you guys listen to this later at home, um, you know, the at me and be like, man, you're tripping.
And you know what, dude? Honestly, I think it's good that we have him. He's a great presence on the field, and I I think he's not meant to play the whole 90, right? Like that player is. We need another player there, not the starter player, but we need that player that needs to be switching out, right? Like you know Yoshida can play probably 2 games, but then needs a rest for a third one, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And we don't have that support to rest out players right now in the back line.
Well, this is where I'll counter with that. I think that's why they brought in Emilio Garces. I'm gonna get ahead of my schedule, but this match right now today against Minnesota, you played Cáceres and Yoshida. We could probably see Emilio against Charlotte, and that's why you get those type of players. And I'm really actually looking forward to that Charlotte game, especially if there is a chance that Emilio starts. I really want to see what he could do in this league. I know there's always going to be an adjustment period, but just because of the youth and what the highlights show of his pace, I want to see how it fares against MLS competition.
Yeah, and I
So
mean,
the
and you still have veteran presence with what's his name in the back as well, Cáceres.
Cáceres,
So
hmm
yeah, I feel a lot comfortable having one of those two always starting, either Yoshida or Cáceres starting every game, one of them.
Cáceres, I'll reserve my my thoughts on it. Anyway, back to the RSL game. We're down 1-0. And I don't think it takes, well, it takes RSL another 20 minutes to get the second goal in. And in this particular play, I feel that Jalen Neal showed a little bit of an experience in this moment. He kind of bit into a fake that I think Diego Luna may have dummied the ball in order for Arango to get it. But again, the LA Galaxy got broken down in a what seemed a very simple play. And of course, when you give it to Arango inside the box, I mean, this man's going to put it in the back of the net. 2-0 at the half. The LA Galaxy couldn't finish in the final third. Um, the defense looks sloppy. Uh, it's hard to, well, at that moment, it was hard to even think that these guys were gonna come in a comeback. But then the second half starts. A better half by the team. Um, they seem to be bought into being a little bit more direct. Uh, because it didn't seem like Vanny did anything different tactically. It's just, well, when that goal came in from Peck, and we're going to jump ahead to the Peck goal. Everybody looked like they were in sync and cohesive. And, Ricky Poos with the eye gave Gabriel Peck, who wasn't being utilized that much in the first half, gave Gabriel Peck his chance, and he buried one. At that moment, it was at the 54th, and it was an early, I mean, quote unquote, early goal. At the 54th, you're down 2-1. You got one of your players involved who didn't see much of the ball in that first half, and so you start to feel a little bit of momentum switch into the Galaxy's direction. Of course, in typical Galaxy fashion, dominating possession, shots on goal, and then until the one came down, and it was actually a beautiful finish by Gabriel Peck. We've kind of been needing him to do this more, but it just so happened that at the home game, he got one behind the net, and like I said, the momentum switch. Here comes probably one of the greatest moments in this player's career. Not the goal, because at the 68th minute, Miguel Berry gets subbed in for Dejan Joveljic. Not sure if Dejan picked up a knock or if it was just Vanny being cautious, but the sub was made. It was until the last minute, in the 90th minute. I don't know, dude. Okay. We've been saying this about Miguel Berry for quite some time. I know Edgar has said it. I know Willis has said it. I know Chewy has said it himself. As a starter, from the times we got to see him a starter, and even today, he cannot fill in that role as a starter whatsoever. But we've actually given him some credit when it comes to him coming off the bench. Maybe it's the fact that you're coming in with limited minutes to try to make a difference in the match. or whatever it is. But in this particular match, the LA Galaxy looked pretty dominant in the second half. After that first goal, the momentum looked like it was switching. And then I'm pretty sure, like around the stadium in the 68th minute, you bringing in Miguel Berry. I'm pretty because of the whole he's not a starter. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of fans that were not so pleased seeing this man come in so early in the match, especially at home when you're trying to get 3 points and against a team who's the top of the league in the West. This man shut everybody up. At the 90th plus minute, Ricky Poos sends in the ball, which, to be honest, I don't think he tried to hit Miguel Berry. He just kind of, well, I don't know. We might have to ask him directly, but I don't think he was trying to hit him on the spot.
It felt like a centro, like centrala.
Just to see what it hits.
Put it, yeah.
Just to see what it hits, and that's exactly what happened. McMath, who was having an excellent game as a goalkeeper, especially in that first half, he slept on that. And Miguel Berry, he the early bird, he got in front of it, and he put it back in the net. And what a celebration, to be honest.
So it's cuando, you know how every guy has their like 2 to 5 seconds of pendejo per day.
Yeah.
Like everything just kind of switches off because we need a reset.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened to McBurry at that time. Like his body's like, hold on, give me like a second, and then oh shit, the ball's coming. I'm not moving. Yep.
Whatever it was, he buried it and saved the point at home against a very good RSL team. The celebration is the thing that got me laughing, though, because I know he was very excited. I'm pretty sure he hears the chatter on the internet. I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know if he listens to us, but maybe somebody told him, like, hey, these guys are talking shit about you. And it's not like on purpose. Like, you're not a starter in our eyes, but we give you credit for doing what you can do off the bench. And in this particular game, saved the LA Galaxy from a loss at home. The shout out to the Syndicate lads, 1912, that made a picture of San Miguel Berry. The suns with the velas and everything. I thought it was pretty cool.
Man, that's just fucking
So shout out to them. I actually posted it on our socials, on News Across the Galaxy Instagram. It's hilarious. So shout out to them for making that. And that's exactly what he was. He celebrated it. I think he went towards the bench and like kind of yelled at somebody. And so the story goes that somebody was mouthing off in that area because there's fans that could sit next to the bench. And so he went over there to kind of like shut him up. Which it wasn't even, I feel that celebration was just for that particular fan. But it was for everybody online, including us, that have been talking shit about him. And you know what? Like Shaq said, I'm going to apologize. I wasn't too familiar with your game.
Nah,
so,
I can't. I can't.
Now, for this particular match, I'm going to apologize to him because he saved the LA Galaxy from having their first defeat at home. And you want to be a good home team, and he saved us from that. And so shout out to Miguel Berry for that one. And shout out to Ricky Pooch for having 2 assists in this match. In the second half, this team turned it up. And surprise, surprise, spoiler, spoiler. That's kind of what happened in the Minnesota game. But anyway.
Hold on. We have a super chat from Steven. Steve, hell yeah, right squad.
Yes.
I enjoyed the mini South Korea versus Japan rivalry between Yamane Yoshida and Sang Bin Lee.
Yeah, he's from Minnesota, one of the forwards.
But I'm glad my countryman didn't score against us. Hell yeah.
Shout out to Steven. Edgar actually interviewed him after the RSL match. So everybody, hold on, give me a minute. My bad.
No, dude. Like, and my thing with Barry, like, I'm happy he scored. I'm happy he saved us from the point, and I'll give him his props for the game. but I still have that stance on him. He's not LA Galaxy caliber. He's not LA Galaxy material.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you did one good thing and it helped out a lot. But the times when we've needed you to do one good thing, you haven't done it. So I'm glad that it came out this time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy that at least it did this time. But he's not somebody that can be consistent, or at least he hasn't shown consistency. He hasn't shown that he's got it, that he's that player, and it's fine. Not everybody is, right?
Yeah.
It's okay, but I feel Galaxy need to be looking, or that, or we bring Zubac back. What the fuck?
Well, I saw in the chat that from Gary, he said he'd rather bring in Aaron Bibu. He's a G2 player. Well,
Yeah.
what
Well,
are
I
they
mean,
now?
he's a
Ventura
G.
County, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever they are.
Yeah. You know
Uh,
what? You know what's crazy, dude? I mean, I know Galaxy don't do it on purpose. Wink, wink.
yeah.
But what's his name? Miguel Berry was the face of. Damn it! I had it in my mind. I was about to say it. Um, Mental Health Awareness Week or month.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. So, I mean, what a coincidence that the player that gets talked about a lot is
Yeah,
the face of mental health awareness, which mental health awareness is very important.
it
It
is. It is
is
100%. It is
fucking immensely important, everybody. But it's just,
the
huh?
irony of it.
It's like Galaxy listens to podcasts, or like the front office listens to some podcasts.
Maybe, definitely not ours, but
Not ours for sure,
but maybe.
but
And dude, and so they actually even gave him. You know how like after the matches they do like the LA Galaxy social media will like record players, and dude, he was very happy about scoring that goal, and it made him feel good. I understand what you're saying to about him not being LA Galaxy material, but look, he's our guy right now, and for the time being, um, I know he may not be the best as a starter, but if he could provide this type of moments moving forward off the bench, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, there's going to be a summer transfer window, and the LA Galaxy are going to probably have to look to either bolster up their offense, whether it's another creative center mid, whether it's another forward, or whatever it is. But they're going to have that chance, and until that chance comes, Miguel Berry has the opportunity to show that he could keep up in his league and be part of the team. And in that Saturday match, he showed that he was part of the team and he was good for the moment. And I got to give him his props for that one. I can't take away nothing from him. It looked like he's been working hard on the pitch, well, at practices, and then it showed off in the pitch this time around. Um, Before we go to the awards, though, a couple things happened. Uh, One, which was my favorite, Chicho Arango getting mad after the game. I don't know if you've seen that online. I don't know if you
yeah.
guys in the chat or listening to this later on seen that online. That was my favorite part. He got heckled. He got mad. And up yours, Chicho. How about that one? Number two, and this one's not so fun, but well, let me say. At the 81st minute, Joseph Paintsil got taken out for Diego Fagundes. Um, there was some type of tantrum being thrown by Joseph Paintsil, where he went directly into the locker room. I believe Greg Vanny was asked about that after the match, and I'm gonna paraphrase because I don't have the exact quote, and which is, well, let me paraphrase what he kind of said. Basically, it was him being frustrated because he was having a bad game, and let's keep it honest, against Real Salt Lake, Joseph Paintsil had a subpar match. And so I get it when a player of that caliber who looks to be the MVP of your team right now has a bad game. And I mean, he has all the right to feel that way. It looks bad in the public, but I don't think he meant any type of disrespect towards the team and his teammates. It's just when you want to kill every team, like he's been quoted, and you're not killing them, it's going to frustrate you. And I think it's all good when you have fiery players like that on your team, especially when it's your DP. I think that's a good sign. As long as it doesn't get to F you coach and F you players, you're not on my level, I think we're good. We had a DP by the name of Robbie Keane who would cuss everybody out in their moms, but he never meant it with disrespect. It was all about professionalism on the pitch. And look what he gave us. He gave us 3 titles and a game-winning goal in 2014. He's been, in my eyes, in a lot of LA Galaxy fans' eyes, he's been the greatest DP to ever exist. There, I said it. So when you have players like that, I mean, it's fine. Let him throw his tantrums. He'll get over it. He'll play better the next match. And I think you need those type of fiery players. But anyway, let's get to some awards in this match. Would you happen to have any awards in this match, Chewy?
I'll come up with some.
Okay, you just wing it. And everybody in the chat for the RSL game, if you guys want to join in on the awards, you guys are more than welcome. And you guys can play at home too if you're listening to this later on in the audio version. All right, let's go with the game is off. I think it's very obvious. Joseph Painso. Just because of what I explained earlier, that he is arguably your most valuable player, not just of your team, but maybe of the league. I mean, there's still Ricky Puig there, but what Painso has done up to now, well, maybe up to that RSL game, has been nothing but world class. And we're kind of lucky to have a player like that. We haven't had that player since maybe Pavon. And so, seeing that he's been very good, and then to have a bad game, he gets it for me. Would you agree, Joey?
Yeah, I would give it to him as well.
I think the next one's going to be hard. You got Hartman. No, actually, no. I got that one. I think I got that one. You've got Hartman has to go to Ricky Puig. 2 assists. I know he had a somewhat subpar first half. But in that second half, 2 assists. What more do you want from your DP creative mid, who could be your best player in the team too? Just in this match, he did look better than the Painto. He gave the 2 assists for the tying goals. And for me, I think he gets that one. Would you agree with that one, Chewy? Or do you have somebody else?
No, I have somebody else.
Who'd you got?
For me, the Yuga Hartman, I'm going to go back to a player that we've been talking shit about, and he hasn't given up. So, yeah, to me, the Yuga Hart is for Barry.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, you did something good that game. It don't matter the shit talking that we've done. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
you're gonna switch
it's funny because my next standing player of the match is gonna go to one San Miguel Berry because of the fact we've been talking so much shit. He comes in and he gives it everything that he can every time that he steps on the pitch, even if it's not what we'd want to see as a starter, but off the bench. And just a celebration, dude. I feel like he yelled at me, to be honest. and dude, okay. And then that celebration too, the thing that got me laughing too, is I know Cáceres ran up to him and was really hyped for him, and I love that between teammates,
that
right?
Was great, yeah.
And so Julian Alde kind of comes to try to celebrate, and that straight gets punked off the celebration. He's on the floor. I thought that was hilarious.
That was
so yeah, for me,
funny, bro.
Yeah, for me, the next standing player of this match is going to be Miguel Berry. Who do you have?
And I switch it around. I have Ricky as my next standing. His contribution to this game was it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, launching it, just centralo cabrón, just fucking put it there. You know,
just put it where somebody could get a foot on it.
Yeah, you know, and he put it right in the middle, dude. Like, the ball was so perfect that the keeper didn't know what the fuck he was going to do.
He didn't.
He just stayed there staring at the ball like, ooh, so pretty. And
Yeah,
then,
Miguel
bam.
Miguel Ibarri got in front of it, and I
Yep.
love that.
The,
Saved us a point.
and the thing is, bro, if if the keeper doesn't make that mistake, Berry doesn't get that goal.
Well,
He's
the
not that
universe tends to work in a funny way, so
he's not that player. Yep. He's not that player. So if that error doesn't happen, that goal doesn't happen. I
yeah.
feel it like that. But I'm
There's
glad.
something actually that I forgot to mention. When Gabriel Peck scored, he had a shirt that said "Pray for RS." If anybody in the chat knows or at home knows what that was, feel free to let us know. It was interesting because at first I thought like Real Salt Lake because I didn't see the L, but it just said "Pray for RS." Anyway, the LA Galaxy end up 2-2 in this match against a very good team in Real Salt Lake with their leading goal scorer in Chicho Arango, who was a handful for the LA Galaxy. And so they end 2-2, points saved, right? Then we move on to the next match. Today's match. Your LA Galaxy went to Minnesota to play the Loons at Allianz Field. Short week. You would have expected players to get rested um, because of rotations, because the LA Galaxy has to play Charlotte on Saturday. And that's exactly what happened. Let's go with the lineup. Of course, J Mac at goal, who to me has been really good this season. I don't know if everybody in the chat feels the same. I think John McCarthy has been really good for us this season, and it's an underrated signing, especially because I mean Bond wasn't the best, but he did have some great saves with us. Uh, John McCarthy's an upgrade of that, and I'm kind of happy we have this man.
Oh yeah, with if we would have had Bond, we would have had a couple of losses at home.
Yeah, maybe. Uh, so back to lineup. Your center backs, of course, Captain Maya Yoshida and Martin Cáceres gets a surprise start. Like I said,
Oh wait,
because of
hold on.
rotations. Yes.
So Rocio, hey, shout out Rocio. So she's saying that RS stands for Rio Grande do Sul. No
Hmm.
sé qué sea eso. But she's saying that's what it stands for. That it is a state in Brazil which is going through a catastrophic flood caused by heavy rains.
Shout out to
Rocio.
Gabriel Peck
Oh,
and Rosillo for putting me on game with that. I did not know that. Prayers to everybody in Brazil in Rio Grande. Um, those type of Mother Nature things are tough to deal with.
oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, thank you for that. All right, so let's with the starting lineup: Martin Cáceres, outright Mickey Amane, and a surprise start on the left side by Johnny Nelson. In the midfield, of course, the usual suspects: Ricky Puig, Gaston Brugman, Mark Delgado. Up top, Miguel. No wait, San Miguel Berry, and then your two wingers, Gabriel Beck and Joseph Paintsil. Like I mentioned before, um, with the Nelson, Cáceres, and Berry starts, those are players that you kind of have to start because you do have, well, it's a short week for one. And then on Saturday, you still have a game against Charlotte, who I think have like a crazy record of like 16 games out of 17 won at home. And so that's a crazy stat. And of course, when you're Coach Vanny and you're in this situation where you're not even that far from being up top, you want to try to get points anywhere you can, whether it's one or three. And so you got to have some type of rotation. Does this lineup against Minnesota mean that the LA Galaxy is lacking depth. As mentioned earlier, the summer transfer window is going to have to be where the LA Galaxy has to address these issues. And I'm not even like concerned about the LA Galaxy in the transfer window because of the whole front office. We have such a capable front office this time around that it's not something to worry about. It's not worrisome. Well, at least in my eyes, they've hit on the two DPs that they needed in Gabriel Peck and Painsil. And last season with the Faguna signing, Cerrillo, um, and then we still need to see more. So well, and JMac, like I mentioned earlier, underrated. So we still need to see what more this front office could do, and I think they'll be able to do a job. But it's a topic for later on.
Hey, shout out to comments who's in the chat.
Hey, what's up, Matthew? How you doing, sir?
You know what, man? Like looking at this lineup, looking at the subs. I'm not mad at the subs. Like I'm not mad at who we have, right? Like I guess you could say, as a second string or your second starting team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at it. My only thing is up front, right? We're lacking that depth for Jovic. Like I said, I'm sorry, but Barry's not it. That's not who we should be counting on
As a starter.
as a starter. Yeah, Jovic is a starter, but even as your sub, I don't think he's it. I think we need somebody else, somebody a little bit more explosive, with more speed, because if you're gonna sub out Jovic at some point during the match, if you're gonna sub him out at the 60th, 70th, or 80th minute, you want legs. You want to destroy the defense, right? You want somebody fast. So, and Barry's not it. Barry's not fast.
No, he's not.
Brian's 55, and he's probably faster than Barry.
Maybe. Not 55. 75. Thank you for making me look younger than I am. All right, well, this match, again, a lackluster half where this is what I have on my notes. Whatever Coach Ramsey and Minnesota United did, they stuck to their game plan to the T. I know we talked to the guys from Lunacy Podcast on Monday.
Check it out. It's on our channel.
Check it out. It's on our channel. It's the midweek show that we had with them. And shout out to Dave and David. Those guys are really cool. They mentioned that one of the weaknesses of the team was them getting exposed on the wings. And so in this match, knowing that you have a player of Painsil's caliber and a player of Peck's caliber, what do? They played 5 in the back. And so the wings were getting shut down by Minnesota. The G's seemed to struggle getting anything going. I think especially because of the lack of mobility, I guess, up top with Miguel Berry as a starter. Because I don't know what it is, but they just couldn't. You have your 3 DPs in there. You would think that you'd be able to get something going, even if you do have a Miguel Berry in your starting lineup. But nothing was clicking. In this first half, one of the stats that stood out to me the most, and it's probably the most irritating, and it's something that maybe Vanny could get criticized for. Of course, you always with a team with Vanny, you're always going to have possession. The team had 60% of possession to their 40, but with no shots on target in that whole first half. Let that sink in. 60% possession with no shots on target. That's kind of embarrassing, especially because of the caliber players that you have on the offensive side. Granted, we didn't have Jovic start, but you would think that you'd be able to exploit some wing play with Paintsill speed, and with Peck, but nothing. Again, a tale of two halves in this match. Again, that first half was it wasn't, as an away team, you want to absorb the pressure for the first 15 minutes. And when you do that, you should be able to play and kind of create something, especially with the team that the LA Galaxy has. 0 shots? Come on. That's kind of embarrassing. Another thing that was very odd, and I don't know if it was because of the Minnesota lineup or what Coach Ramsey and the coaching staff in Minnesota had planned, but Brugman was having a very, very rough time connecting any passes to create offense. Uh, the whole team in general just couldn't get any through balls in the correct spaces. If there was one through ball that went through, uh, right away the defense was swarming, and they were just defending the LA Galaxy well. And this could be another game another half that the league could see and kind of take as a blueprint in how to shut down the LA Galaxy. Um, and this is kind of where like a lot of people criticize Vanny as well, and we've been one of the pods who have, where he doesn't try to change tactics and to see what else could work. I mean, we'll talk about what happened in the second half, but in this particular first half, uh, like what do you do? Like I know I have my criticism about Vanny and him not changing tactics, but I don't even know what the right answer is at that moment either, especially because you don't have that depth that we've been asking for a long time. What do you do? It's you just got to let it ride out to the half and then make adjustments then. But even then, on that goal, a beautiful goal by the way by Minnesota. Um, the player was left alone just for him to take a shot, and he took an outside foot shot, banger by the way. At first, I didn't even think it went in, so I was kind of like denying the inevitable, and it went to VAR, and it ended up going in. Well, one of the things I do like about VAR now is that on TV, well, it's been like that, right? Where the officials, after looking at VAR, they make the call and they have to get on the mic and let the fans know what's going on. I think that's actually a really cool MLS thing that they're doing this season. But anyway,
Hell yeah, that's awesome. I fucking love that.
yeah, I do love that.
Freaking all my life watching NFL and them doing that. That this is nice. I like it.
Yeah, yeah, I did too. And so yeah, that went in. I can't really, aside from that moment, do you recall any dangerous moments in that first half aside from that goal?
Well, they had a bunch of corner kicks before they led that to that goal. Um, but dangerous, nah.
They had 3 corner kicks in that first half, and look,
That's a lot.
yeah, one of the Achilles heels from the LA Galaxy is set plays and crosses in general. We're kind of lucky that none of those 3 corners went in, but I think one of the plays was from the corner, and he just got left alone and scored a banger of a goal. Let me get his name. Let's see what his name is. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce that. I'm sorry. It's a very long name. Let me try his last name. Hlowange. Well, they said it on TV. I fucked up. I should have paid attention. Sorry if I butchered your name, but it was a banger of a goal. And okay, first half, the DPs were having a hard time. Nothing was going through. They were making it very difficult for the LA Galaxy to create anything in space. Ricky Puig was having a horrible half. He was actually the worst rated player in that first half. Him and Painstill. Again, Painstill having another bad half. Which I would probably think it's because it's a short week and because of the travel. You would think that'd probably be it. But you would also think
But what
that
travel? I mean,
from here to Minnesota.
yeah, but you played at home that one game. Now you're traveling, so you should be fine with one travel.
You would also think that. But look, he had a bad game against RSL. You would think he would want to come back and make a comeback in order to play better. But no, it was either him having another off night and the combination of Minnesota United actually zeroing in on what Paintsville does and actually sticking to a game plan that worked perfectly in that first half. Frustrated the LA Galaxy, yeah, gave them the possession, but didn't let them do anything dangerous. And again, another first half. Why is the LA Galaxy doing this? I don't understand these last two games. First halves, shit. Second half, heroics. What is this? If you want to be serious about contending in the West, you got to have a full 90-minute match where you're more than excellent, especially on the road. Because if you're not winning your home games and you're not getting that first seed, you're going to have to go away and win some games. And so this match was one of those opportunities because you're playing a team that's tied with you in second place with 20 points at this moment. And you want to move up that ladder. Didn't happen. Well, the first half ends at 1-0. Second half starts, and Paintsville comes out. Let me get the actual minute that he came out. He comes out in the 52nd minute. I think this is something to be worried about. I don't want to jinx it. I seen him come out, and when he came out, I may have read his lips wrong, but it looked like he said, "my hamstring." Hopefully it's just tightness and it's not anything serious. But for him to come out in the 52nd minute, that's very early for a sub, especially for Greg Vanney. He probably asked for it. Hamstring? That's tough. Hopefully we get the report soon and there's nothing to it and it's just a minor tweak. But here we go. Diego Fagundes comes in the 52nd. And to be honest, the game changed as soon as he came in. I don't know what it was, but the LA Galaxy looked a little bit more fluid. Ricky Puig and company were the trio in the midfield looked way better than they did in the first half. I don't know if it was Vanny who gave him the good old hurrah speech of "let's go boys, we can't drop any points here," and then whatever he told them, right? But the trio looked excellent in that second half. And then in the let's see, at this moment we're still 1-0. 59th minute, Miguel Berry comes out, Dejan Joveljic comes in, and again the LA Galaxy looks way more dangerous. I think this is where Minnesota may have made the mistake. Coach Ramsey takes out all his speedy guys that were killing us the whole game, especially when Cáceres was in there. They were taking advantage of their speed. And coach brings them out. Yeah, they were up 1-0, but wouldn't you want to score one more to kind of secure some 3 points and maybe give you guys a rest after that? In the 60th minute, Minnesota makes a change for 3 players, and those were the 3 guys that were killing us. At the 61st, that's when the LA Galaxy ties, and the momentum starts switching once again in the second half. I don't understand this whole second half switch of like, why does it take the team a whole half? Well, it's been taking the team the whole half these last 2 matches to actually wake up. Don't know what it is. It could be fatigue. Whatever it is, it hasn't been going right. Gabriel Peck assists Dejan Joveljic. And of course, in classic Joveljic fashion, comes in off the bench and scores a goal and does this pistolero celebration. Looks at the crowd and like, yep, I came in just to do that. And he did. And it was beautiful. 7 minutes after that, Ricky Puig puts a beautiful through ball through 2 defenders to Diego Fagundes. And Diego Fagundes finds the back of the net. Mr. 70 plus and 70 plus. 70 assists, 70 goals plus. He puts another one in the back of the net. At this moment, 68th minute, you're thinking, hey, maybe the LA Galaxy could win this. Maybe the substitution pattern that Greg Vanney has done this time around is going to work. Boy, were we wrong. There's something that these are the at the 76th minute, Johnny Nelson comes out and Julian Alve comes in. At the 77th, Ricky and Gabriel Peck come out, Edwin Cerrillo and Jalen Neal come in. So this is where it's kind of rough. Greg Vanney made some subs by bringing Fagundes in and Joveljic, and they worked out, right? They come in, they change the game because it was very noticeable that the LA Galaxy needed a little bit more dynamic play up top. Those two players come in, they score a goal each. You're up 2-1. Then you make these subs. I understand the fact that you want to kind of bunker down and contain and maybe hold on to these 3 points. And there's going to be a lot of maybe back and forth on this because there's probably a camp that believes that Vanney should have just kept the team how it was, maybe not change formations because they don't really play with 5 in the back, which looked like that was the case. And then there's going to be the camp where, you know, the players should respond better. And I feel it's a little bit of both. Yes, Greg Vanney maybe should have let Ricky stay in a little bit more to maybe contain the ball and keep that possession a little bit longer and then make the subs to play 5 in the back where, you know, you could just kill time. But I also understand that at that moment, you want to take your players out and give them rest for the next match, which is on Saturday. It's a quick turnaround. They probably leave tonight or tomorrow morning, and then they got to settle in Friday and then play Saturday. It's tough to be Greg Vanney, especially because of how these last season have gone with us to now, right? We think everything that he does now, it's either hit or a super miss. Like we don't give him any slack, and it's very unfortunate for Coach because he's had an actual great season so far, and has the LA Galaxy playing at a pretty solid level. Has them scoring a lot of goals. I mean, granted, we're still getting conceded a lot of goals, but you know, like I mentioned earlier, again, the summer transfer window is not that far away.
Real quick, we have 2 super chats.
Oh yes,
Another super chat from Steven. LA Galaxy is going to torture us like Arsenal. So if you're an Arsenal fan, I guess. And we have a super chat from Rafael asking, should Joveljic just be a super sub?
Oof, no.
He was,
yeah,
and he wants that opportunity to be the starter.
And he's had that opportunity, and he's been shining.
Now,
with the goal today,
now
it's 7 goals. Yeah, now and
because he got that opportunity before too, and he was not shining.
Yeah, last season in particular when Chicha went down, but today he got it from the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
and Coach Vanney had the trust in him, and you know gave him the keys, and he took them. 7 goals. That's more than solid, to be honest.
yeah.
I know I saw on the chat right here that we need Lewandowski in the team. Sure, on TAM, it'd be even better. But how realistic is that? I know I've also been on here saying that we should probably bring Griezmann too. I've said it on La Cuna Galaxiana. Shout out to those guys. Those guys are also live right now. So
I think
if you guys aren't here, they're done.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys aren't here, well, check them out. Later on, those guys are awesome. You know, Antoine Griezmann would be nice too, but it just depends how Will Kuntz and team are gonna go about this. Because yes, we are missing a forward, in my opinion. Also, Matthew from comments says that Minnesota high line was diminished a lot of the play and space for the midfield for the LA Galaxy, and yeah, it was. They executed it perfectly in that first half. In that second half, Ricky did work, Fagundes did work, and Jovic did work. It was just on the defensive side where, again, in the 80th minute, um, the Achilles heel, the thing that has plagued us this whole season, another set piece, and uh, that really takes the wind out of your sails. You are bunkered down with 5 defenders, hoping to hold for the win. And it's not the lack of trying with these guys. It's just miscommunication. In this particular case, I think it was Jalen Neal who got dunked on by Kevin Arriaga. And right there, it could just be Jalen. Maybe he's not fully healthy, or he's just trying to get back into match fitness. And so it's something that the other guys need to work on. I don't know what they need to do. I don't know if it's getting a coach to come in to help with set pieces, or maybe having a different lineup in the back line, which is kind of hard to do now because you're 13th game in, and you have your set players. And if you throw somebody in new, it could be, it could be even worse. So I'm not sure what it is, but it was kind of a disappointing set piece. But I'm gonna be one of those guys. At least we got a point away. Short week, needing to rest some players so you could be perfect for, well, not perfect, but at least competitive for Saturday. You got to give them rest. And I know they probably wanted to play 90, but this is what MLS is. It's a grueling schedule. It's a tough schedule. From Minnesota, they got to go to Charlotte. It's tough. Chewy, do I see another super chat or am I tripping?
Yeah. I wanted to let you finish your thought. Yeah, we do have another super chat from Adam. Do you agree with Vanny's substitutions? A lot of comments disagree because he took out Peg and Ricky.
Ooh.
The thing is, you need him for the next game.
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. There's both camps where some say, Vanny should have not done these subs. And there's the other camp that the players should have done better. And it's a combination of both. So the thing is, we got a point from it. Yeah, it sucks that we couldn't get the 3. But 1 is better than none. Let's keep it real. All right. I got some this little stats from Galaxy Runs LA. Shouts to those guys. They posted the LA Galaxy has played 8 out of 13 games on the road, earning a possible 12 out of 24, making them the best road team in the West. Could have been 26 if they would have won today. No. That's a good stat.
Okay, hold on.
I know right now in the standings, we are in 5th.
Right.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
OBS went down for whatever reason. Hold on. But we're really bad. Let me see what's going on. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I don't know if it cut our live or shouldn't have, but it is really bad. What the hell? Is it my internet? No, my internet should be good. You're still on the meeting. Hold on, let me check something out real quick.
I know.
Sorry guys, if you guys can hear us. We're having issues. I'm looking into it right now.
Yeah, sorry about that. In the meanwhile, if you guys can hear us, give us a thumbs up in the chat. And if you're listening to this on the audio version later, we are sorry, but I think the audio's coming through all right.
The audio,
no
I
thumbs
believe
up.
is fine. Is the video that's lagging?
Cierra las ventanas porque no agarra el
Se
wifi.
sale el wifi.
No, porque no se salga el wifi. Yeah, you're right, Phil. My bad.
Uh,
I mean, if the audio is perfect, I mean, I could keep going. Uh,
yeah. You
it's
can keep
fine
going.
without the. Okay. In that case, let's talk some more shit. All right, where was I? Best road team. I like it. Home team, we should do better. I think we have a couple ties that maybe we shouldn't have gotten, but it's all good. Let's do some awards for this match. Let's see. Let's start off with the Game is Off awards, and of course, everybody in the chat and everybody listening to this later on, you guys could join on this very fun game that we like to make people feel bad about themselves and then yell when they score dope ass goals. uh, let's go with the Game is Off award. In this particular match, I'm looking at the final report of the player ratings, and I can't really, because I saw the game, and the thing is, the whole team
Hey, hold on, hold on.
the yeah.
Hey, we got a super chat from I Am Smarts from Rudy. From we love you, bro.
Hey, shouts to Rudy, Mr. I Am Smarts second. What's up, bro? Thank you for the super chat. So in this particular game, in the first half, you could have gave it to everybody. This team was not working on any level. Defensively, they looked sloppy. Of course, on the offensive side, nothing was going. But if I had to pick, how about I give it? I'm gonna give it to Gaston Brugman in this match. Actually, I know in the second half he looked slightly better, but in that first half, he just wasn't sharp with the passes, and I'm kind of bit disappointed with Gaston's last two matches, to be honest. Um, maybe Cedillo should get starts over him. I don't know if that's a controversial take. Would like to see Gaston be a little bit more productive on the offensive side. We know what he could do defensively. He's a bulldog in that CDM role, but I'm not sure what it is in these last two matches where he hasn't looked like the Gaston of last season. Hopefully it turns around because a player of his caliber who we got to see when we first came, we're gonna need him, especially if we want to compete. You have a game is off for this match, Chewy, or you're gonna be working on stuff?
Shoot, I was over here working on making sure the internet didn't go down or whatever the hell was happening. But hold on, let me check my notes because I did kind of write it down.
Pay for your Wi-Fi, fool. Close the windows so it doesn't leave your house. Speaking of, oh yeah, it is closed. My bad.
Oh, that's why yours is working perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm using the neighbor's Wi-Fi.
Where we at?
Game is off.
Game is off. All right. So it might be again, man. With for me with what's his name, Paintsel.
Paintsel. Yeah, first half.
Yeah.
He looked bad.
Yeah, I mean the injury sucks. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he could have he might have been able to turn it around. He might have been able to do something, but we won't know anytime soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
We won't know this game. He unfortunately something happened. He had to come out, but from what the performance he showed, yeah, I feel he was the worst player I think for the time that he was out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. I hope he doesn't listen to our pod. He'll probably talk shit on us on his next song. All right, well, let's move on to the honorable mention. There's 3 players that you could rotate and give the honorable mention to and the next standing player. And I'm gonna give you 3 names: Ricky Puig, Diego Fagundes, and Dejan Joveljic in this particular match.
All right.
I'm not sure who I want to give it to from them, or maybe even Peck for that assist. You know what? Because I haven't gave this player that many awards, I think I'm gonna give it to Gabriel Peck as the honorable mention this match around.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I was thinking.
yeah, we've had these discussions of thinking that maybe he's a little bit too left-footed, and there's been prior matches where we've actually mentioned that we want to see that DP caliber skill come out and take over games when Joveljic is not in there, or when Puig is not in there, or where any other DPs in there. You want to see your other DP kind of carry the team. In this particular match, he may not have carried the team, but he started what could have been a win. So for that, I'm gonna give him the You've Got Heart Man honorable mention. And now to the main event, the next standing player of the match. And everybody could join in. I actually want to hear the chat. Who's your next standing player of the match? Which means who is your MVP of today's game? Chewy, do you want to go first on this one?
Sure. I'm gonna give it to Senor Fagundes. He came in strong, and then came in strong later too, and got a yellow. But yeah,
Yeah.
he really switched that game up. He really, he gave that hope of a win away.
Yeah, pretty much. Same. Diego Fagundes for me is the next standing player of the match in this game. As soon as he came in, it was noticeably different that this team was more direct, that this team had a little bit more fluidity to it. And I think just the goal that Ricky Puig gave him, assisted him, was just the kind of the cherry on top. He may not have the speed how he used to, but he's still very elusive. And in that goal, and also, I mean, Ricky Puig,
Oh yeah,
he finds him between two players.
it's hard to not give it something to push too, right?
Yeah,
But I mean, we only have two good awards.
yeah. We can't have a super MVP, or else it would have been Ricky Puig once again. But for this time around, for me as well, it's going to be Diego Fagundes. And I kind of like giving him that award, especially because he came off the bench and he doesn't get that much playing time, and he has to make the most of what he can actually do. So
Hell yeah,
beautiful.
man! And to me, Diego Fagundes is another starter that we have right in the team.
Yeah.
If we need him to start, he's a starter. He's another dude that we can count on. So
And so this is where we got to see what Paintstill's injury report is, because if he's not able to go, we have a solid backup in Diego Fagundes.
Oh yeah.
I was listening to the Spanish version of the show. I mean,
Oh, I'm starting to get you guys into the Spanish version.
you know, because they're better. Let's just keep it real. They're better.
You know, if what's his name? If fuck, I blanked on his name. Our commentator.
Joe Tutino.
There we go, Joe Tutino. If he was doing the English ones, I'd watch.
Then I
it
would
in
have watched the
English.
English one. Yeah. Of
But
course.
he's not. He's doing the radio, and I've
Yeah.
listened to it when I drive home because the game was early.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the Spanish commentators for the most part they have more heart in the fucking match, dude.
Yeah. So I was listening to them, and then
Mamita querida.
it was Marcelo Balboa. He's an MLS classic. He's been around the league for a very long time. He was mentioning that what if the LA Galaxy They didn't need to get that other DP spot on the wing and could have just kept Fagundes as a starter. So they kept going back and forth on that. And then I believe that's when Paintil came off as a sub. And so we're kind of fortunate to have a player like Diego Fagundes. Not only can he play wing, he could play striker. He could play your creative mid. You could plug him in anywhere basically on the offensive side, and he'll put in work for you. And that's kind of what, that's your super sub. And now your potential starter. It just kind of drops off the line when you go maybe to your defense or specifically your wingbacks. Okay, no, we're done with the awards. But I do want to give like an extra shout out. Johnny Nelson, the left back who started for Julian Alde. He had a very solid game. I've known we only seen him once before. I forgot what game it was, and he had a solid showing too. The guy's just a professional, and that's another guy that, I mean, for being a veteran, we are kind of lucky to have another player like that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens from here on out. Hopefully, Paintil's not hurt, and we could definitely use him on Saturday. But if he can't go, Diego Fagundes has the nod for me.
Oh yeah.
All right, Chewy.
Sure. The thing is, this is where now the depth, right, is gonna start hurting too, because our depth is Diego Fagundes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yes, and I get it. We have Cerillo, but it's like our depth is Diego Fagundes.
Yeah, we need another on the offensive end.
Yeah, we need Painstill to get better quick.
Yeah. All right. This is for this match. The LA Galaxy heads to Charlotte this Saturday to play. Do they have an actual name? Is it like Charlotte FC? It's not Charlotte FC, is it?
Yeah. Is it?
I don't know. They're going to Charlotte to play Charlotte in a very tough environment to play once again.
Charlotte FC. Charlotte fucking club.
El fucking club. We'll have a show Sunday. We'll get back on schedule. This time around, it's just we've been people getting married.
If nobody's getting married this weekend, yeah, we'll have a show on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll have a show on Sunday. We're also gonna have a midweek with the guys from Charlotte on tomorrow. Edgar and I will be talking to some of the guys from Charlotte. So stay tuned for that. Those guys are also cool. They're from Charlotte FC TV. I think I may have got that wrong, but we'll see. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, you have anything else before we take off, Chewy?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, it's getting late, and I'm starting to fall asleep a little bit. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for everybody who joined us today on the live chat. Thank you for all the super chats. You guys are amazing. Also, if you're listening to this later on the audio version only, we encourage you to come to the super chats. Not to the super chats, but to the chat. So you guys could, banter within everybody in here. And there's always good stuff going on in the chats. So good back and forths. We love reading them as well. So we encourage you to come do that. So that does it for us at News Across the Galaxy. Chewy, where can I find you?
You guys can find me as Chavez JA, Chavez Ha on all my social media. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. Oh, and everybody that's been adding me on Facebook, cool. I don't really go into my Facebook. That's where all my family is at. So I don't really get in on it anymore because why? But yeah, everything else, great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you to everybody for showing love too. Make sure you hit that like button on this video and share it so you guys could let everybody know we suck as podcasters. You can find me as Bryant Nags on Instagram and X. Of course, you can follow News Across the Galaxy on all social medias, all platforms, anywhere you get your podcasts. And I think that's it for the plugs. Well, that does it for me, Bryant Lobos, your host, your lonely host for tonight. But I'm not so lonely because I had Chewy with me. Thank you for being with me, Chewy. I love you.
Of course.
That does it for me, Brian, and Triaso. We're going to get up out here. And as always, keep on nagging.
Keep on nagging.
Hey, we used to have that.